Late night, good night. Jack Daniels, Coach Jack Daniels of the Boxing Training Channel, representing. We represented tonight. We talking about boxing and all the ins and outs, all the ins and outs, excuse me, and the scandals that goes on in association with the sports that I love. I don't know about y'all, but I love the sport of boxing. That being said, I have a bunch of information that I need to get some information from y'all about in the name of sport, in the name of and the love of sports, of the sport of boxing. Blah, blah, blah. You feel me? So with that being said, look, this came up a couple of days ago, but that hasn't stopped it from moving and moving and moving, and it's still moving. That is this conversation about Ron Garcia and the Devin Haney fight on 4/20/2024 in Brooklyn, New York at the Chase Center. Right now, we all know that Ron Garcia beat Devin Haney on that night. Right now, as far as I was concerned, even before the controversy erupted, I was of the opinion that there was something very suspicious about Ryan Garcia and his behavior. Not speaking on all the antics that he threw in front of people during the pre-fight promotion, but I'm talking about my suspicions derived at viewing him and his conduct despite the antics, right? There was always something in the back of my mind that leveled a air of suspicion about Ron Garcia. It was just totally beyond the pale of how a logical person would respond, even if he didn't want to be in the situation. And in this instance, I mean, the fight with Devin Haney. Shout out to Bobby B in the house, my man, Bobby B in the house. So uh, there was a massive amount of suspicion, right, in regards to Ryan Garcia's behavior. He was just acting, I mean, like nervous all the time, right? And I will say, I will note that even during the antics, I gave Ryan an astronomical amount of respect for dancing around all the antics and staying focused enough to train. Right. I was really impressed with some of the events that I saw in so far as his training regimen is concerned. Right. He did do some training. Right. But all of this and the antics and the so-called uh, banned substance was all a big plot. And at the end of the day, that plot is totally unfolded and the legitimacy of the fight is on the line. Now, if that's okay with y'all, right, it's not okay with me. First of all, I had constantly said, and I still say today, that Ryan Garcia is not a good a a good as a good a fighter as as Devin Dream Haney. He is not and will never be. Right? They are on two different levels in regards to uh, their tactical skill set, if you will. Right? They have totally different ideals about what it means to be great and what it means to be a good boxer. Right? Devin Haney, as I've oftentimes said, was brought into this existence to be among the greats, and I still believe that today, despite the fact that even given the fact that Ryan Garcia won the fight, even given the fight that he won that fight convincingly, minus the so-called steroid event, right? I still believe that Devin Haney is a better fighter, and that night, even contrary to the fact that the banned substance is hovering over the win of Ryan Garcia, right? I still believe that Devin Haney had an off night, right? In the core, in my gut feelings, I believe, based on my boxing credentials, that Ron Garcia didn't win that fight based on his skill, but he won that fight either or because of the steroids, or Devin Haney had a bad night. And I think that Devin Haney is man enough to admit, and he has that he had an off night that night, right? And he wants to show his public, show the world that he indeed had a bad night and wants a rematch. But let the record reflect that Ryan Garcia wants no part of that, right? But as the Haneys say, Allah is the best planner. And even given the circumstances that a lot of people don't believe in Allah, they believe in a God. I'm quite sure they believe in something, right? The majority of us, the people do. We're not speaking of the atheists and the people that believe otherwise. That we just happen to jump on a planet and here we are, right? There is a creator. There is a creator, or there is a God. Whether you believe that or not, that's on you. Bobby B said absolutely correct. The creator makes, whether it be God or Allah, right? He makes no mistakes. That is a true sentence, right? Shout out to Bobby B. And based on that, Devin believes in that wholeheartedly, that Allah makes no mistakes. And I believe that Allah makes no mistakes, as is the case with Bobby B. Bobby B believes that Allah makes no mistakes. And that is a natural fact, right? The things that transpired in the event of Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, right, are all of the workings and the makings of the creator or God, whichever you prefer, right? And the way things are unfolding, the believer, right, the true believer, right? We have two belief systems here. We have the Christian belief and we have the Muslim belief, right? And not saying which one is good or bad, because both of them have the same amount of import, right? But it is the believer, the person that embraces their religion, that this is ascribed to, right? And in this case, I believe that is Devin Haney. Devin Haney conducts himself as a believer in this case, Islam, right? And Ryan Garcia says he's a Christian, but his actions, his verbiage, and his suspicions deem otherwise, right? Now, I am by no means being a hypocrite. I am per se stating facts based on what you see and what you hear coming out of Ryan Garcia's mouth versus what comes out of Devin Haney's mouth, right? A Christian has the same moral apparatus as a Muslim. His conduct is what walks him through the pearly gates, if you're speaking of a Christian, right? They don't curse. They don't drink. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that Ryan Garcia does that leads a Christian to believe that he's not a believer. So I don't want to get away from the issue at hand here, because I wanted to ascribe to the chat and find out who supports Ryan Garcia's behavior. Do we believe that somebody is setting the Garcia family up, or did that moron take a banned substance before and during the fight? Did he? Is the question, right? And you know what I'm saying? I mean, my feelings are set in stone. I believe Ryan Garcia did anything he had to win this fight, and that's what is actually being suggested in all the rigmarole of the banned substance, the antics, all the stuff that Ryan Garcia is going sending us through, right? I believe that he is the purveyor of banned substance. Ryan Garcia, just like he admitted after the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, that he went into that fight knowing that he wasn't going to whoop Gervonta Tank Davis, right? And I also believe that he went into that fight knowing that he couldn't whoop Devin Haney on even playing field. That's why, in my opinion, in my highly educated opinion, y'all, Ryan Garcia took that banned substance. Ryan Garcia was stronger than he would have normally been had he not taken bands. He was stronger than he would have been if excuse me, he was stronger had he not taken the band stuff. Right. I mean, Ryan Garcia was. I mean, that left hook was punctual. I mean, it was. He threw it like punctually, right? Every time he threw that left hook, it had a lot of accuracy associated with it, right? And we've seen Ryan Garcia throw that left hook before. The speed, the power, we've seen him throw that left hook before. But that night that he threw that left hook on Devin Haney, it put Devin Haney on the canvas. Jorge Linares hit Devin Haney with a nice left hook. Nice left hook. Dazed him. He shuffled on to the corner and came back, finished the fight, and won. But that night with Ryan Garcia, it was a totally different left hook. That left hook that Ryan Garcia was throwing had some on it, y'all. And it was called banned substance. You heard me? Now, y'all can ponder over that and act silly if you want to, right? But me, this gentleman, this older guy, I represent the truth. I represent that which is right. And I'm in a quandrum per se of a few, because a lot of people ain't gonna stand up and tell the truth. They want to bicker and fake, and you know what I'm saying. And you know, that's a lot of key people that I'm learning that you know what I'm saying, that I have gravitated toward, right, are actually fakes. Know who I'm talking about. If you listen, know that Jack Daniels of the Boxing Trainers Channel has uncovered the truth, right? And I will not be fooled into a place where I shouldn't be, because it is my natural instinct to love my brother and sister like I want to be loved. That's me. I can't speak to you or those that perpetrate fraud like they're this way when they're actually that way. You know who I'm talking about. Facts. Absolutely, Terror Zeus in the house. Y'all talking about facts. That's exactly what it is. The world is full of perpetrators, right? Don't give a darn how much you embrace them and how much you extend your hand to them in love and respect. They perpetrate fraud on you. I mean, it's so overwhelming, right? You know what I'm saying? See, I can tell y'all a lot about me when it comes to being real. I've made a lot of promises on this chat, and I will stand by everything that I have promised on this chat, because that is the type of man that I am. Man, I am man. And for those that are listening, and for those who I am personally speaking to, and you know who I'm talking to, right? Stop faking it and be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stop using different vehicles, right, to create falsehoods, right? I mean, you know who I'm talking to. And some of y'all in the chat know who I'm talking about. I ain't giving up no names, right? But some of y'all know them. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You feel me? But let the record reflect that it's not that their behavior is not going to change me. Terror Zulus in the house said, I've not heard a word I don't disagree. Shout out to Terror Zulus for feeling the truth. I represent that which is totally right and correct. That garbage, that nonsense, that foolishness, you got to go to one of them other channels for that, because I have to be real. I have to talk to those that need to know that there are still some of us that stand on the truth. That are still some of us that are men. That are still some of us that don't let the material things in this world destroy us to the point where we fake just to be among those that believe in the same thing. With that in mind, hit the subscription button, hit the comment button, drop a comment in the comment section, and tell me what you think about the perpetrators out there that's living a life of a fool. And hit the like button, y'all. With that in mind, Terra Zeus, see you, brother, and I appreciate you 100%. Bobby B, one love. With that, I'm gone.